What's up, y'all? We're back in Tampa another year. For those of you that don't know Tampa, it's home to one of the longest running skate contests, 30 years as a matter of fact. We at Jenkem love this contest. It's got a real familiar, homey vibe. The crowd is always good. The nightlife, as you've probably seen through the years, is phenomenal. And we had this question, just kind of wondering how judging and how contests have changed throughout the years. So we gathered a panel of judges and we had them look through old footage, old winning runs in particular, and see how they aged and how judging has changed.
This was 95?
Yeah, this is the first ever.
Yeah. Yeah, see that one shirt outside?
We always hype this, you know, I mean, obviously.
This right here. That was the ender.
It turned out it wasn't.
Kickflip 50 was the ender.
I mean,
for his winning run.
I always remembered the kickflip 50-50 as his last trick too. It was like
that was his banger though.
It was his banger. Yeah.
You know what's weird is though? It was sick at the time.
Yeah. And nobody thinks of Mike V as a tech skater, but that was like as tech as anything at the time. Kickflip 50 on a ledge. So.
Cairo Foster nollie hard flipped that bench right there, and Bo Turner ran into the skate shop and threw his board down and said, "Some fucking nerd stole my trick." Because Cairo was just like this little skinny kid with glasses on, and Bo was the one who invented the trick. So he's like, someone did it other than him, and he was fucking pissed.
How do you guys think this run, just by modern standards, how do you think it aged?
It was good for the time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, cool, 54. You know, like, yeah, you're missing the cut. Kickflip 50 now, you don't even want to see it.
Here's the difference though. Back then, there was no such thing as a contest, like a contest trained pro. That's it. There were skaters, and skaters would go enter street contests and see how it turned out. So he stayed on. That's like a miracle. The whole run, that hardly ever happened. People bailed most of their tricks. The person who kind of winged it and pulled it off would win. Now it's you're skating against people who are machines. So there's no comparison. But that was like more real, and you saw it, and you're like, sick.
What do you guys remember? Do you think there was prize money for this?
Yeah, it was
$1,000.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a ton. It wasn't in the 1940s. That's when he was OG Turtle Boy days.
Turtle Boy right here for sure.
Yeah.
Airwalk Reynolds.
And even from 97 to 98, he goes like through puberty.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he was just getting those though right there.
Yeah, you're just getting a glimpse.
I used to love watching this footage. Like
1 year difference, and he's already like a grown ass man right here. Still got the 5-0 though on the box.
Far East.
Damn.
this is when the contest really got.
Yeah, this is when it started like going off.
Would you say that that's when people started taking it more seriously, 97, 98 era?
I don't know if they took it more seriously. Maybe it became more important.
It was a place to be.
Because it's like 5 years deep by then, right? 4 years, 5 years in. And so that's already a 5-year run for a contest was like a huge deal.
What year was the biggest crowd ever to show up in Tampa?
The crowd is always kind of the same because there's a maximum limited tickets. There's like 1,000 tickets. They've been selling out consistently since I've been here for like helping run it for the last 10 years. So how about in terms of skaters though? I don't know.
There's this thing that happens in golf for the Masters. And if you've ever won the Masters in golf, they would automatically qualify you for life for the Masters. You have to get into the tournament by way of qualifying in general. And so I was like, what if we just let all the winners automatically be in the semifinals?
That was your idea?
Yeah, like I pulled it from sports. Because we wanted Reynolds and Costin and all those dudes to come back.
Does that rule still apply?
Yeah, if you've ever won, you can show up.
Mike V can come in and skate semis. Yeah.
Kyle can show up right now.
Like 5 years ago. Yeah.
I didn't bring my board. I think I was here for this, just watching.
Switch heel became the new kick.
I was airwalk TM in this contest.
Were you?
Dude.
That was insane.
I think this was.
He was like the first dude to really do him like that, back 360, where he just kind of like sort of shifty it and then spin it around. Also, he'll probably do the over crook here.
Yeah.
Him and Kenny were like the first guys that did back nose grinds like that, though, to me.
They called that the Gersh grind in trans world.
Gersh
That's
grind.
right.
Yeah.
Gersh grind, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Lots of Duff stickers.
Yeah, I like the
Lots
I
of
like the
stickers.
overly stickered courses
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
They were so sick.
Gershon fell in this run. When did it become like you can't fall to place?
It always depends on what's going on during the contest.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's just the
now-
law of averages means that no one's gonna.
Yeah.
Not everyone's gonna bail now because
Yeah.
everyone's so good.
I think there is the point of being inside the building and seeing something and feeling this thing that's happening that can exist even with a fall when you see some perfect run that's just like,
yeah.
like, okay, he
Well,
made
that-
all his tricks, but is that the winning run?
How did it age?
Well, with the bail, it's definitely way, way, way down now. You know,
Let's say you
because
did the bail after the
I was,
buzzer.
yeah.
it's still a below average run now. Within that scale though, that frame, no one was doing back 360s over the pyramid. They sure weren't doing them like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one, I mean, Eric was probably the only one doing switch heels over the pyramid that year. So
Can you just mention for people who don't know, which is 99.9% of people, how judging works?
usually 5 judges, the high and the low score are dropped, and the 3 middle ones are averaged, and it's a 0 to 100 scale. Oh yeah, this is the one we blew it on.
Yeah, maybe, I guess.
You blew it on it?
I think we blew it on this one.
Wait, who won?
Paul won. Nigel Nolly frontside heeled the pyramid just now on that first
won,
run.
and you think that Nigel should have won?
I think Nigel should have won this
Really?
one. I think we totally made a mistake on this one. I'm not afraid to admit that one at all.
And he still had the dreads, still young Nija
Yeah.
era.
Hard flip the stairs.
This fall.
Yeah, this is Paul. This is the year we set up a massive poker game in the street course,
I remember that.
and Paul was in there practicing alone, and we played poker till dawn, and then had to get the table out of there before the contest started. No one went to sleep.
So as a fan, I thought you guys prioritized Berard because he was Nike and Nike was sponsoring the contest.
No way, never. People always claim
Oh
that.
yeah,
So
that's.
how much do sponsorships?
Not at all. It's never
Well, the
come
judges
up.
don't have anything to do with the sponsorships.
Yeah.
It does, so it doesn't. There's no correlation, really. You know.
People always do bring that up, and they're like, you know, they'll say, well, there's 3 Nike guys on the podium, and it's like, well, they sponsor half the dudes that came to the contest, and they sponsor the best
They sponsor
guys,
the best
so
dudes,
they
yeah.
ended up on the podium. So that happens a lot. Look, so all of Nigel's tricks were harder than P-Rod's tricks. So.
Nigel's still got the little kid style going on in that video, and he's like Diesel and does everything now.
I think I might have been announcing that one though, and I just remember thinking like you said, he wasn't like cool yet, and I don't think he'd won anything yet. It was seconds across the board for him. And it's like, nope, P-Rod's still the best. This kid's gonna have to work harder for it. But looking back, it's like, well, he won the contest.
Yeah.
So.
Do you take any trash talk from people once you're done judging the event, or they know not to talk to you?
Oh no, it's happened plenty of times. Yeah.
Any notice?
I had Jeremy Rogers come up after Copenhagen once and just light us up, and I was like, and like Rattray was in there just laughing like so hard he couldn't believe it.
I judged the Olympics, and we got when our names went on the TV, we got death threats over Instagram. Immediately.
What else did you get?
Dick pics, but I didn't get dick pics. I personally, but like it was like the names came up, and then our ding ding ding, it was just death threats and dick pics for the entire.
San Francisco tennis business. That's how you catch a kickflip. Keep it going.
His run's like a work of art. This little 4-trick combo.
Oh yeah.
Oh, this
Front
one
blunt
right
up,
is the-
front D, this little 180 Iggy Manny.
Yeah, this run.
He's just
This is one of the best ones.
He's just rolling around with no push combos, and you're like, holy shit! That's the only time he gets off his board is that little step up the little quarterback. This little line, kick flip up,
Was that the run?
Lotus frontside
switch
flip,
blunt.
and then
Yeah.
switch blunt kick flip.
Yeah.
Was that the run he'd been doing, or was that just
No,
his finals
all
run?
this was all just
This
like.
also could have been when he just showed up.
sorry,
too.
he had
Like
already
on a
won
Sunday.
in 2006. So
Yeah.
he showed up. This was
Yeah.
the first time we saw him
Yeah,
all
that's-
weekend.
No way.
Mickey Reyes kept him away from the contest, and so he would burn himself out in practice all the time. He'd get too sweaty and too tired and shit like that. So like Mickey kept driving him around and like running errands with him until the final started.
way.
And then he let him out of the car, and he was just like a like a
pit
crazed
bull.
dog, just like yeah.
That'd be something
Yeah,
Mickey
that was
would do.
Yeah.
That's some of the best, like.
Oh, it was
That was
so
the
good.
most like where you're like, all right, he won.
Yeah.
There was like not even.
He did everything.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
if this run went down today,
Oh yeah.
This one's still really good. I think.
Yeah, he just puts the line together.
Yeah.
That video, that runs like a video part to me though. That's one I can watch.
Yeah.
I've
No, that
watched
was-
that run before.
That's what it felt like. Yeah.
Many times, and I've been like, that run gives me like the fucking
Yeah.
feelings like a video part does. It's sick. It's fun to watch. He's already mad at himself because he squirreled out and missed the nollie crooks right there.
Oh, he's just about ready to walk off the
Yeah, he
course
is.
over it.
And then he made that. And he's like, oh, I'll just keep going, I guess. Shane's always out for perfection against himself. Right there, he's pissed too.
Oh, he's so mad about that.
Yeah, he stuck his arm up in the air. He's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
It's what I love about him, though, is because he 100% will never sandbag a contest. He's just like, if I don't do the hardest thing I've ever done, and I don't want to even be out there and doing it. Yep.
He's real mad.
Yeah, that's what I meant to ask you
That's-
guys. With it being a
Ooh.
fun, with tricks like that, has there ever been like a toe touch or a hand drag or something that in retrospect you're like, fuck, that could have swayed the whole thing?
It probably could have, but I don't. And I didn't do this one. This was the year after I stopped doing this contest, but I still remember thinking like, I don't think the second place run was nearly as good as that. And they're going on innovation and tech and everything on this because it's just the course was really well built for him.
Besides the bail, how do you feel about this run? I mean, it's 8 years old now.
Now it's like a
I mean,
pretty
it's
good, great run.
Dude,
Yeah.
a switch flip, big flip front board is still
Yeah,
holding up.
You're
yo.
still getting.
I feel like even at the time though, it wasn't a guarantee that was going to be the winning run. It was
No,
like
it was debate.
it was one of those contests where no one did the thing that sealed it.
Yeah.
What's the best bribes you guys have gotten?
Bribes?
Yeah.
I wish I got bribes.
Didn't you get kind of a fake?
Yeah, I got a fake one from some Chinese dude like 8 years ago, or no, it was like 6 years ago. $500 to throw the contest and give a
Wasn't
couple
the
dudes.
the contest was like an
It was a
Olympic,
vert contest, and he wanted people who couldn't drop in to win the contest against
and he offered you
Moto Shibata and those dudes.
So he offered you $500.
$500.
to throw it.
Yeah, people joke about it all the time, but it doesn't happen.
are there any tricks now that are technically hard but you're tired of seeing so get judged lower?
I think one of the worst is the 900th time you saw the nollie back big spin over the box.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you've seen one trick 50 times, you're like, fuck this dude. I can't believe he's watched this contest and he still did a nollie big spin
Yeah.
over the pyramid when I've already seen everyone else do it. So people just, I don't think they pay attention to other runs, and so you're just like, dude, we don't need to see the same thing.
They don't know though. Some people just don't know any better. They're too focused on they think they have to do a bunch of tricks and they're missing a bigger picture. Where it's like, well, it's not just doing a bunch of tricks. Do something that's going to get our attention. When somebody skates too outside the norm,
Yeah, Mike.
it's hard to put a score to it. Even though everybody loves it, and the crowd, they're like, that's it, that's the winning run.
yeah.
And so when he doesn't win, the crowd's like, these judges don't know what they're doing, but they obviously do.
Yeah, you get booed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially at
And-
like the Vans Park Series when it's like in Huntington Beach, got booed by however many people it was, and then you look out and they're all wearing flip flops.
Yeah,
they're at
yeah,
the
yeah.
beach.
Oh, see, I got him to revert, got him back to switch.
This is a lot different than that Mike V. Mike V win.
This is a little bit,
Yeah, a bit different, huh?
Oh,
Jesus, dude.
Like that's his kick flip.
Yeah.
Switch lip. It's pretty fucked up, man.
Yeah.
he's the dude that if he makes a run, you're probably like, I don't think anyone can beat him if he makes everything that he wants to try.
Right.
And there's a handful of guys that are like that, and very, very few. He's one of them.
Yeah.
As a judge, when he lands everything, you're stoked
Oh,
because it's
fuck.
easy.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Nollie 270 to blunt slide was
You know what other
crazy.
skaters like max out at.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
so you
like,
can't
oh, so this guy's
possibly, yeah.
his best run is already 89, and I'm like, that's it for the day. I know unless he does something, but like you tell, you're like, if he lands everything, he's instantly gonna win.
Yeah.
Who do you put your money on if Yuto and Nige are in the building if they do their best runs each?
I haven't seen them in a while. I don't know. I would guess Yuto.
Yuto does stuff though that you've
I haven't seen either.
never ever seen. Like honestly, like
Like
Nollie
the
270 and
Nollie
blunt.
thing,
No one's seen it. No, we've never seen that before. Like,
But then there's those unique tricks, like Tori Pudwell can do long lip slides to blunts and all these weird stuff. How do you judge a novelty trick that no one else in the world can do?
It ends up looking gross in the contest.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. That's what I was saying earlier.
he doesn't
Windshield
look.
wiper blades going.
Yeah. He looks dope on everything he does.